When you were little, the market was the place to be, and always the very first thing you'd see was a row of colourful fruit and veg stalls selling cauliflowers the size of beach balls. Prices written in white card on black marker pen, satsumas 3/8 each or a shilling for 10. The words special offer were always rife. You've never seen so many apostrophes in your life. We had such simple taste back then. Carrots and cabbage left us all contented. Broccoli hadn't even been invented. If it had, they'd never have been able to sell it, certainly wouldn't have been able to spell it. And as for asparagus, well, good luck with that. There was no place for fancy exotic produce on Ashton Market. I'd often go with me gran, and if she stopped for a natter with Elsie or Lizzie, she'd let me go off and buy something fizzy at a stall where cordial from a well-stocked bar and stored in what looked like a specimen jar was topped up with soda water dispensed from a siphon. When the nice lady came to serve me, I'd always tell her, please can I have a sarsaparilla? For some an acquired taste, for others a never-to-be-acquired taste. For a 9-year-old, the epitome of sophisticated taste, edging even the mysterious Mancunian magnificence of Vinto into second place in the hit parade of cool refreshments available on Ashton Market. When I got back to me gran, her eyes were sometimes red from crying, as she spent another week desperately trying to make ends meet. And on the days when she went in to pay the rent, I knew straight away this meant that when the window cleaner came for his money or the insurance man came round, we'd have to stay silent and hit the ground and pretend no one was in. Keeping all the balls in the air was a hopeless task, a bit like a Tommy Cooper juggling act, but not quite so funny. Yet on the market she'd always find the money to buy me an ice cream. And even as a nipper, I couldn't help but note that all the women she talked to were in the same boat. A problem shared was a problem halved on Ashton Market. And on weekdays there were plenty of people to share it with, as the market ground became a kaleidoscope of colourful shopping trolleys with garish tartan patterns, wheeled through the open spaces by hunched figures with wizened, haggard faces, all desperately short of dough, all with nowhere else to go, old before their time, bodies broken by decades of manual labour, futures with so very little to savour, enduring, not enjoying, a retirement that would be short-lived and joyless and increasingly propped up by walking sticks and frames. And one by one these familiar faces would disappear, and instinctively you'd always fear the worst, and usually you were right. But at least they'd had their 70 and maybe another 5. But one day in 1965, a woman dark-wigged over peroxide blonde hair and an unsettling man with a sinister stare brought unspeakable evil to the market, luring a young boy into their car with the promise to take him to his door, but instead they buried him on Saddleworth Moor. And not one person then had the slightest understanding of why the hell they just abolished hanging. But in time, most came to change their mind. Instant death, that's far too kind. Let them live every day with the memory of what they've done. They indeed might sleep, but they would never dream. And our mums and our dads and our grans and our granddads and our aunts and our uncles and our friends and our neighbours would hammer home the mortal dangers of ever accepting lifts from strangers. So ingrained did this mantra become, so often did we hear them say it, that even now we still obey it. And if a driver pulls over to ask the way or someone stops us for a light, our instincts to step back as if in fright, our lack of faith in human nature cemented at such a young age. These days they call it being streetwise, but really wouldn't it be nice to trust people a little bit more? But we'll never forget that we were the lucky ones, because even when the sun shines through and the sky's an unbroken sea of blue, there's a corner shrouded in permanent darkness on Ashton Market.